First, let me start off by saying thank you so much for commenting on my video. Or I guess it's not really a video, but you get the point. I appreciate all of them, and I even appreciate differing opinions, so long as they don't devolve into name-calling or pure insults. So I want to reiterate, thank you for those who were able to comment and keep it civil. So I think the main point I saw people talk about is this idea that an idol fan, by my definition, should like every single type of idol, which I think is a complete misinterpretation of what I was trying to say. My point is not that everybody should strive to like everything, or that everyone should strive to be like me. Yagami Kumi knows that I'm not a fan of every single group. There are some groups that I find completely boring, and there are others that I absolutely cannot stand. There are far too many idol groups out there and subgenres to expect that somebody's going to like all of them. And I think if you look at Milky Kitty's comment, where she says, I'm hearing a lot of fans coming out saying they're huge idol fans, but don't know much aside from Love Live or refuse to support any other group that's not Love Live related, I think that's the effect that I'm trying to pinpoint for others to see. Because I can be honest and say at one point, all I knew was AKB and SKE, but I went around telling people how much I loved idols. And looking back on it, I kind of cringe at how naive I was. Naive to this whole nother world that existed outside the 48 galaxy. So going back and responding, Mech says, also I think it's completely fine to say you didn't like something from an idol group and also be an idol fan, as long as you give groups a chance and keep an open mind. And this is my point. I'm not asking you to go into Baskin Robbins and try every flavor, nor am I saying you should like every flavor. But I am telling you that there are people who will go in and proclaim that chocolate is the best, having never tried any of the other flavors. Or maybe they tried something else in passing, but you know they're so blindly in love with chocolate that you know they're not giving others a fair shake. And that can't be helped because people are going to like what they like, and they're going to grow and discover new things at their own pace. And as I said at the end of my first video, enjoy idols in the way that's best for you. It's just my opinion, and you surely don't have to agree. But let me get back to my responses, as it may help to clarify things. So Data Lanch says, words like true fans or real fans are hugely detrimental. But aren't you doing the same thing? Assigning a label or lack thereof? So let me explain this true fans, real fans thing. Most times when I see people talking about stuff like that, it's in the context of dick measuring. People want to get into a contest of displaying achievements because they think that's a tangible way of measuring their fandom. You see it outside in the real world when people talk about how much money they make or how many championships they've won. But you can't really do that in the idol genre. So they default to stuff like how many handshakes have you gotten, or how many trips have you been to Japan to see them, or how much money you spend a month in order to support your member. So my point is, if you're a fan of only one group, and you only care about that one group, and you have no other interest in any potential surrounding groups, are you really a fan of idols, or are you a fan of that particular group? For me, it's just more of a distinction. Maybe you can argue that it carries elitist overtones, but that's not my true intention. The reason for making this distinction is because I think there are actual trends in which you can predict on how fans will react or progress through their fandom depending on where their interests lie. I think it's obvious that if you're into multiple groups, it's much easier to get over something like a graduation. But furthermore, if you're into multiple groups, I think that also influences how you interact with other fans as well. It's something I hope to delve into deeper in future episodes. But to wrap this all up, I'll just say, I completely agree with you, Ramen Shuriken, in that people need to learn what an idol is and how the idol music industry works. And I also agree that if they're perfectly fine with the way things are run and produced, then it doesn't matter what the subgenre of music is or the group they like, as long as it is performed by idols and they understand and appreciate this. I guess we just have different opinions on what that entails. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the DLJ experience.